Hi guys. Builder's noise this morning, I'm afraid. Love me long time 14. Oh, where did we leave it? It's getting all over the place, this story. Gary had just had a delivery of food to his condo unexpectedly, and he had no idea what the main event was going to be. He knew that that food arriving meant Posh was coming. It's inevitable. 30 minutes later, he's mulling around his condo and the buzzer starts. Yeah, it's Posh. Opens the door, doesn't even bother saying anything. Opens the door, in she comes. Greets her, stood in the middle of all these bags of food. Oh, the cockerels, how can they be? It's like 9 o'clock in the morning. Huh. He greets her and he's all this food all over the floor in bags. And she says, I'm sorry I didn't ring, but I've got to shoot the psalm, pushing a wheelbarrow across the yard, making a noise. She says, I've actually got to go tomorrow up to Bangkok. It looks like I've got 2 or 3 weeks filming. And I thought, I'll get some food in, she said, as a way of, again, apologizing for me being drunk and shouting at you. She says, I'm so sorry. It's not my character. I find myself drinking a bit when I'm off set, being lonely. And Gary's like, oh, he said, well, I sort of understand. He said, and you're going off tomorrow? And she's, yeah, first thing in the morning, I've got to go early to the airport and I'm flying off to Bangkok. And he says, so you won't be drinking tonight then? She goes, no. And he said, okay. Oh, okay, this is cool. I'm hungry. She says, give me a hand with the bags and we'll take it kitchen. We'll put a meal together and just have a nice meal. And he says, okay. And he's thinking to himself, she's not drinking, she's going in the morning, cool, I get free food. He thinks, I like that, okay, I can live with that. And it's early evening, it must be about 7 o'clock, so they get all the food prepared and they go up on the deck and they eat it and they just chit chat. She starts asking him questions, you know, what are you actually doing here in Thailand? And he thinks to himself, this is an opportunity to sort of get rid of her and tell her a little bit of what he's doing so she'll leave him alone in the future. He says, I'm going to get rid of her. She's going to turn into a bunny boiler. So he tells her that originally he was looking for a wife to have kids, to go back to America, to Texas, and but now he's thinking of a surrogate mother, and actually says, my business partner, B, very intelligent girl, I might be doing this with her. So I'm considering it. And this makes Posh totally shocked. She's like, so you've come here to buy kids or buy a woman? He's like, well, not really buy them. He says, I did come with intentions of finding a wife, but I'm struggling. And then the idea of having kids to take over my empire, but no complications of a wife or partner, is actually quite appealing. And of course, I would financially set up the mother so that it's a good deal all round. Anyway, Posh thinks, oh, well, right, okay, yeah, I understand. And she's not happy with this at all. So, finishing the meal, she says, okay, she says, right, I'm going. She says, I've got an early night, I've got to pack. And it's only about maybe 8:30 by then. And he's like, okay, I'll see you in a few weeks then. And she said, yeah, have fun. And up she gets, she takes all the plates to the kitchen, she washes them all up, she gets all the bags and rubbish and puts it in a black bag, takes it off and said, I'll take all the rubbish and see you soon. And he's like, okay, off she goes. Door closed, gone, free food done. She didn't seem very happy with his business ideas and what he was going to get up to. Not very happy at all. Is she that posh? Don't agree with it. Is he doing something wrong? He thinks, no, not really. Anyway, he thinks, well, fine. 30 minutes later, I mean, it's dark outside. He's got all the lights on the condo. Must be like a beacon, top of the condo. There's him, there's her in the one below, and I don't think any other ones have got any people in. Telephone goes on the door system, but this is also a telephone. And he picks it up and says, hello. And he says, Gary, it's Angela. I'm in the office. And he goes, oh, okay, so you rung through. Oh, I didn't know I could do that, ring the office from here. He said, yeah, you press this number, blah, 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 and you ring through to the office. And then this other number, security. Oh, okay. Learn something new every day. He says, yeah, cool. She says, I've got a dilemma, a problem. Are you heading to bed, or? She said, can I come over and see you? And it's business. And he says, well, it's a bit late. She said, I'm exhausted. I've had a long day. I really could do with throwing some ideas at you for this, for a problem I've got. And he's like, okay, come on over. So about 15 minutes later, she locks up the sales shop, wanders over, he buzzes her in. And she walks in and she's looking stunning in that office outfit, you know, just stunning. And now we introduce a chainsaw into the story. Guy cutting up trees over there. Right, guys, I've moved into the house. It is so noisy out there, so hot. I can't get in any of my hammocks. I don't know. So Angela's just locked up her sales shop. She's come over. Buzz, he's let her in, and she is looking absolutely beautiful. He's thinking, wow, you are stunning. But he didn't say it out loud, of course. And she's like, thanks for letting me come over. She said, I've just got a few problems and I need someone to talk to and try and figure them out. He said, oh, okay, come. He says, let's go up on the deck. It's just beautiful up there and it's relaxing and maybe you get your head straight. He says, I'm going to have a drink. Do you want a drink? And she said, oh, I'd love one. So grabs her a drink, no idea what. He gets a beer. And they sit down and she says to him, oh, firstly, good news. She says, I've let another 2 of your units. So that's good. And he's like, oh, that's brilliant. Excellent. She says, a very wealthy Thai business has come to us and they've got a client who's very rich, who has, I've taken and shown them the same condo as yours, the one next door, which is still about 3 months from completion. It's got the basic buildings up, but the top duplex has only got the walls and that's it, the outside walls. It's not obviously going to be complete for another 2 months, 3 months. But they've fallen in love with it. But they are one of these clients that wants everything now. Prepared to pay more money to have now. He said, okay. What do they want this condo basically the same as this one? She said, yeah. They're prepared to pay 20 million plus all the costs, which is way up on what you paid. But I just couldn't see any way of you wanting to sell yours because money's not really that important to you. He said, well, I'm always looking for a way of making a bit of money. It always helps. I'm a businessman. He says, and actually, he says, there's some things in this condo that I would change, and I was thinking of potentially changing. She said, okay. And they carry on drinking. He said, yeah, I'd like to make the pool bigger up there and change all the windows and take one room off the corner and make an area around the side at the front, another seating area with a roof, and change a couple of things inside. And she says, oh, okay. She said, well, I suppose all that's possible. And that condo's at the position where you could because they haven't put all the top deck ready for the pool. She said, I suppose it's possible. I'd have to talk to builders and the site architects and everyone. And he says, well, why don't you sell this one I'll sell it to this person, or you sell it to this person, and I'll move into one of the other condos for a couple of months, and that'd be quite exciting for me. I was going to go back to the States, but I'll quite happily stay and redesign that duplex one next door. It's identical, 2 buildings on the front, same view. He said, but let me have a look at it inside first before we do this for 100% deal. And she said, okay, we can do that in the morning. We can, I'll take you up there with the building manager and show you. That would fix everything. She said, I could then sell this one to that guy. And Gary's actually thinking, I can get away from posh if I move building. And for now, I move into one of the other condos, no problem. He said, but I'd lose the pool because the other condos haven't got the pool. And he's like, is there any other ones with a pool on top of the other buildings done and empty? She said, yeah, there's one slightly downgrade from this. She said, at the back, it's duplex, it's got a pool, and it's about 12 million baht. She says, but that guy didn't want it because it's back at it hasn't got the views of the other ones. He says, do I own that one? She said, no. And he went, is it ready to move in? And she said, yes. And he's like, let me have a think about that. Now she's thinking, oh, he's going to buy another duplex. And he's going to sell me this one. And we're going to make a profit. And then he's going to have another one, which he's got to buy and change it. She's like, ka-ching, 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 all over the place. Her head's going. Fantastic. She said, oh, this is amazing. She said, you're such an amazing guy. And then she walks over and she says, have you got any cocktails? And he went, oh, I have, I think, but I don't know how to make them. She's like, vodka. Thai women don't like vodka. She's on the vodka. Makes a cocktail. She says, do you want one? And he's like, I'll try one. That's it. They start on the cocktails, don't they? She's over the moon. She's about to make a shed load of money by selling his condo, selling the other duplex to him, redesigned, possibly selling them another duplex so he can move in for now. Oh, that's the jackpot again for her. They start drinking cocktails. I was like, you're like, no, you've got a business meeting tomorrow night with B and Angela. And he's not thinking, he's like, oh no. But he remembers Angela had been in the entertainment zone job in the past. But he's knocking the cocktails back. He's like, no, I've got to stop this. Anyway, he says to Angela, I'm tired. I've got to call it a night. He says, and she says, I'm exhausted and I'm getting a bit tipsy. She said, I know it's a bit cheeky, but can I borrow your spare bedroom? Save me going all the way home tonight. And he went, yeah, that's okay. That's fine. He said, it's all got everything in there. You just find it yourself. He said, brilliant. He said, I'll just stay up here for a bit longer and then I'll head in later. Okay, he said, I'm going to hit the sack. Off he goes to bed. What happens next? Chainsaw massacre. He sneaks in his bedroom with a chainsaw and chops his head off. I've got to film a load of these today. I've got to do them. The noise, I'm so sorry about all the noise, but when I get the love story, I start remembering some of the stuff that Gary's told me and the way he's told me, and the jigsaw comes together in my head. No scripts. I start picturing what he's told me and then I do it. And I've got a few episodes I'm going to have to do today. With all the background noise, I'm sorry. Maybe one day I can afford to get a studio. Right, see you guys next time. Bye for now.